Okay, so you might be laughing a little bit, but here's our top 10 reasons why motocross is better than trail riding. Check it out. Number 1. All right, so the main reason is that it's, to me, more exhilarating, more adrenaline, more all of that, that you just can't beat it. It's more of a workout per se because you can go and do it regularly. Of course, it depends on what access you have to tracks, but that, to me, that is the most important thing, is that it's more that feeling you get. So I can come back from a 5-day ride trip where I've been at 10,000 feet and it's just incredible. Then I get back and I'm on the track for 2 turns, heading up a hill at Glen Helen, and I'm like, that's pretty awesome. So that's, to me, that's what it's all about. Number 2 is guys like this. I think he's similar speed as myself, having an awesome time on a Thursday. What's not to like with that? Number 3, chicks dig it. Now I know there's plenty of chicks that ride, don't get me wrong. Girls, women, they're all riding. But if your girls don't ride, they're much more apt to go to the track and watch you ride, you and your kids, your son, whatever, riding, than some nasty trail ride far away and sitting out there waiting for you guys. So you can involve more of the family, that kind of thing. Moto is a little bit more friendly for that. So that's a nice thing about moto. It can kind of involve the family a little bit more. Now, if you're a trail family and everybody gets into trail riding and you take the trailer out, that's a whole different thing. But if it's just, if your wife and girls aren't into it, then they'd be more apt to watch at the track. Number 4, we got cool pros like Jason Anderson out of the track, riding right alongside of us, regular guys. Pretty fun watching them ride the same track as you do. It can be a little bit scary, but it's pretty dang cool checking out the pros and what they do on the same exact track. Number 5. All right, so moto for kids is the fastest way they learn to get better because they're trying to go faster. And that's how it starts, is by working on your skills. And you can do a track over and over. Trail riding can be very difficult to build your skills. It can take a long time because the dads go out on a big far away ride, the kids are stuck close to camp, let's say, and riding close to there, it's a bit limiting. So that's something to consider. So for me, I feel like kids get better, and any kid that's good at motocross, who grows up riding motocross, they can ride trail. Typically, the other way around doesn't always work. If a kid's a good trail rider, a guy's a good trail rider, a lot of times it doesn't mean they can ride the track. Totally different thing. And I feel like that's because in moto, you're processing things so fast on the track. You're always dealing with things. The track is changing every lap. You got rocks coming up, things moving, things changing all the time. So that's what helps build those skills in motocross. 6. Okay, so for me, I think the biggest reason I like moto better is because I have way more places to ride. And that cannot be the case for everyone. So if you live in an area like in Southern California here, we have tons of tracks to choose from. Glen Helen and Kauai, like this place, are my favorite places to go because they have friendly tracks, they have vet tracks, a lot of different types of places you can ride. So that's a big advantage for me riding moto. Trail can be a lot more work. Moto, you get all these different tracks to choose from, and you can get in, go ride, get back home, do your chores, and get back on with the day. 7. Next, I feel like controlling your environment. With moto, you control your environment. You're just on tracks. You got the kids track, the vet track, the main track, whatever you got tracks. If you go out into the trail areas, it's all different wherever you're at. You're out in the desert, or if you're in your riding lands in Tennessee, you got an area where you always have to worry about quads or UTVs, other things crossing, getting in there. So those are things to consider. Where the track is just pretty much you and a couple people around you, you don't have to worry about outside influences, people going the wrong way, those types of things. So that's one of the things I really like about moto. Also, at the track, you just pay your money, ride, and leave. You might complain about it, but you leave. Where if you're on the trail, things are a lot more, more difficult. You gotta maybe worry about clearing the trail if there's down trees to get around. You're behind dust all day if the conditions aren't perfect. The track, it's usually watered and well taken care of. You usually know how good it's going to be before you get there. On the moto trail, there's no getting lost and spending hours and hours helping some guy with a flat tire way out far or helping a guy get fuel. There's none of those types of things that you would have when compared to just a motocross day. And number 8 is racing. So motocross, it's hard to ride motocross without racing, especially in a lot of areas. Out here, there's lots of practice days, so you can just practice, like today. You can just practice. But like, for instance, my buddy Rado got into racing really late, has only been racing this year, has a brand new video. We'll probably try to put a link to that, those that haven't seen it, where he didn't start riding until 40, basically, and has only ridden like 6-7 races and is just having a blast with it later in life, getting into it. Because that adrenaline I talked about at the beginning, that adrenaline comes in, and it's just nothing like it. If you're battling somebody similar speed as you, and you guys can have your own battle, even though we're battling and we're way, way slower than any top pro, we're having fun in our little lane, so to speak, and it's just nothing beats it when you can battle with a guy for a few laps and you can get him, or he gets you, you're still bummed and you want to get him next time. So nothing beats that feeling. And in those battles, you're improving. Your skills get better. When you're racing, you push yourself to improve better than you ever would. And again, those racing skills and those riding motocross skills will pass on to trail riding. So that's something to always remember. 9. Next, more advanced bikes. Motocross bikes get the latest technology. They get the brand new stuff. They always come to the motocross bikes first, and then they trickle to the trail bikes. So that's what's really cool. And I've said in my trail video is that one of the downsides is motocross, everybody wants to have the latest bike. You got to have the latest machine with the best suspension, best motor package. You want to modify everything. Where trail riding, you don't have to do that as much. But I feel like, for me, it's pretty cool to get that kind of technology in motocross. Number 10, two-strokes. Motocross is keeping two-strokes alive. I know guys trail ride two-strokes, but nothing sounds better than a two-stroke on the track. We all agree. We got cool races like the Weisco two-stroke race at Glen Helen in April, this two-stroke championship. We got two-strokes kind of making a bit of a revival. Guys really like to build up these older two-strokes, a blast, and two-strokes on the track are amazing. And not only that, a two-stroke for a kid coming up on a track is a great way to learn. So, two-strokes. All right, so that's a wrap on our top 10. Obviously, I'm not going to convince anybody to go moto if they don't feel comfortable motoing. And if they trail ride is really what they like doing, I get it. But this gives you our perspective. We are lucky and blessed enough to be able to do both and do both regularly. It's been awesome being able to do both, but I still love a good moto day like today. Hot day, but got some cloud cover. Amazing. So hopefully you enjoyed our little moto top 10. Check you out later, track or trail.